Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take interesting source material and really pull out the key insights for you.
Yeah, consider it your shortcut to getting up to speed.
So our mission today is pretty focused.
Mm.
We want to understand how you build a really solid foundation for improving customer experience.
And for this, we're digging into a recording. It's from a corporate masterclass featuring Richard Kouadio. He's the West Africa VP at OswegO, and also Olivier from OswegO.
Right. Experts really focused on customer experience, specifically in French-speaking Africa, which is an interesting angle.
Definitely. And this masterclass, it was part of the Sex Mop Côte d'Ivoire event.
Which, you have to admit, has a bit of a ring to it.
It certainly does. Anyway, the whole goal was basically to help professionals in that region figure out how to tackle their customer experience challenges.
It's always good to see how these ideas land in different contexts, isn't it?
For sure. And, the recording kicks off with a very relatable moment.
Oh, yeah.
They actually had a bit of a technical glitch. Couldn't get a video to play right away.
Happens to the best of us. Nice little reminder that things don't always go smoothly, even for the pros.
Exactly. But they recovered quickly, which actually leads us straight into the first big question that came up from the people attending.
Okay, what was that?
Essentially, how do you actually set up a good organization right from the start to make customer experience better?
The foundational question. Okay, let's unpack that one then.
Well, what's really interesting is Olivier jumps right in and he makes this point that building that strong CX foundation, it's not really about specific tactics first.
Not about the tools or the latest buzzwords.
Not primarily, no. He really emphasizes that it's fundamentally about the organization's culture and also how you manage the initiatives. He uses the word piloting.
Piloting. Okay, so testing things out, small scale, controlled, not just diving headfirst into massive changes.
Precisely. And, this connects to a really critical insight he shared. He sort of pushes back against what a lot of companies do, which is immediately jumping into mapping out all the customer journeys.
Right, finding the pain points, charting the whole thing.
Exactly. And that feels like the logical first step, doesn't it? Find where customers struggle, map it, fix it.
Yeah, seems intuitive. So why isn't that the best place to begin, according to Olivier?
Well, if you think about the bigger picture, those customer journeys, they're really only one part of the whole experience that you deliver.
Okay.
And focusing just on them can be, insufficient because the actions you decide on based on that map, they might just not be doable.
So you do all this work, identify the friction points, maybe even come up with brilliant solutions. But then what? They just stall.
That's exactly the risk Olivier highlights if your teams aren't actually ready to implement those changes.
Ready how? They don't have the budget or the right people.
Could be anything. Lack of resources, yeah. Maybe they don't have the specific skills needed, or maybe there are other deeper organizational roadblocks in the way. And if that's the case, then all those great plans you made for the customer journey, they just end up, collecting dust.
Stuck. Ineffective.
Exactly. Stagnant is the word he uses. It's like you know the problem, but the organization itself isn't actually set up to deliver the solution.
It's like having a diagnosis, but no pharmacy or doctors available to actually provide the treatment.
That's a great way to put it. You've got the map, but no engine to actually move forward.
Okay, I get that. So you could have this perfect, beautiful map of every single customer interaction, highlighting every little bump.
Meticulously detailed.
Yeah. But if the team on the ground doesn't have the training or the support, or maybe even the authority to smooth out those bumps,
then the map itself doesn't achieve much, does it?
it's just a nice document.
Yeah.
Like having that treasure map, but oops, forgot the shovel.
Spot on. And the outcome, as Olivier lays it out, is that all that energy you poured into understanding the journey, it doesn't actually lead to real improvement for the customer.
You end up with decisions about customer experience that you just can't act on effectively.
Precisely. Decisions made in a vacuum, almost.
Okay, so if rushing straight to customer journey mapping isn't the answer, what should be the priority? What are those foundational things you need first?
And that's the key question, isn't it? It takes us right back to Olivier's first point.
About culture and piloting.
Exactly. Culture and piloting. Before you even think about mapping a single journey, the argument is you need to take a hard look internally.
At what specifically?
Does your organizational culture genuinely, truly prioritize the customer? Is it just lip service or is it real? And crucially, do you have ways to actually manage change? Effective processes for, well, for piloting and implementing improvements in a controlled way.
Got it. So bringing this all together then from this deep dive into the masterclass, the big takeaway seems to be that building great customer experience, it isn't just about looking outwards at the customer's path.
No, it starts much closer to home.
It really begins inside with building the right internal culture and making sure the organization is actually capable, ready to put improvements into action.
Absolutely. Don't just rush to map those journeys before you've laid that solid groundwork internally.
So this really raises a question for you, the listener, doesn't it?
It really should. Thinking about your own company, your own team. What parts of your culture, what capabilities might actually need attention before you dive deep into fixing customer journeys?
Because it sounds like the really impactful improvements, the ones that stick, they don't just happen at the customer touch point. They have to come from within the organization itself.
That's the core message, I think. Ultimately, those great experiences your customers have, they're built on that strong foundation. Internal alignment, organizational readiness. That's the bedrock.
Definitely something to chew on.